what we want to do is making sure that the knees and the hips move together. They are associated movements. We haven't got one before the other. Yeah, we want those two movements happening together. Okay, we've got to avoid the unlock and drop. Okay, I see particularly ladies who have tremendous amounts of flexibility just kind of dropping in the squat, missing out the eccentric control. Okay, and that's fine when they're using light weights, but when they're using heavy, they try and do that and they end up getting injured. Okay, I see that a lot with my female athletes, so that's quite a female-specific thing to do. Okay, and instead we want to actively pull ourselves to the ground. Okay, pulling ourselves to the ground as opposed to unlocking and dropping. What you can do is you can get a band, hold it for some rig, and practice that kind of active pulling. So we're getting a little bit of hip flexor engagement there. That eccentric control is the key to what we do. So back to the hip hinge versus the squat, it's important that we're thinking about those biomechanics. If they've got knee pathology, let's load the hip slightly more. If you've got hip pathology, let's load the knee slightly more. Use the biomechanics to offload the tissue we want to offload. Load distribution, this one's really relevant. So the squat is a quad dominant exercise. Between 80 degrees and 130 degrees, we're using maximal peak for the quads. Normally between 90 and 100 degrees, the literature says. But if we're not going below parallel, we're not really activating the glutes as much as we think we are. Okay, so this is really interesting that the glutes really work below 90 degrees. So if you're squatting to parallel, you're only just really getting that glute engagement. If you're going arse to grass, you're getting all the good stuff. So we've got to think about the bar path. If we're using a front squat or a back squat, we want to make sure, okay, that we've got that nice line of the bar path. We don't want the bar going too far forward or too far back. There's loads of software out there where you can draw lines on videos on your patients. Who does that? Video analysis, drawing lines on your patients? Yeah, okay, that's excellent. I'm glad you're doing that. So depth, we've got to think about whether we're squatting deep, which is arse to grass, whether we're breaking parallel, or whether we're falling in the hole. Okay, who knows what I mean by falling in the hole? They've gone to full depth, okay, and now they can't get out, so they're gonna have to bail out of the squat. Okay, you've got to train your athletes to do that if they're going to be squatting heavy, or your patients to do that. Train them to bail, because what you don't want to be doing is them holding on and then doing the squat somersault like we saw earlier. Bad. Okay, so we're looking at this tail tuck position, or the butt wing position that we hear so much about. If you can maintain a fairly